Louisiana National Guardsmen were being deployed, along with 63 high water trucks, 39 boats, and 4 helicopters. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency warned of storm surges between 3 and 5 feet and told residents of South Mississippi to prepare to evacuate. The National Hurricane Center said Gordon was generating winds of 50 miles per hour on Monday as it steamed west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. By Monday afternoon, the storm had passed over Florida's southern tip. There were no reports of any injuries or deaths or damages to buildings, according to Alberto Moscoso, a spokesman for the Florida Division of Emergency Management. Last year, powerful hurricanes walloped Texas, Florida, and Puerto Rico, causing thousands of deaths, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of damage, massive power outages, and devastation to hundreds of thousands of structures. At the mouth of the Mississippi River, around the area of New Orleans, the storm could generate a surge of up to 4 feet, and smaller surges could hit coastland along other parts of the Gulf Coast. The U.S. Coast Guard also warned that the ports of New Orleans, as well as Gulfport and Pascagoula, Mississippi, may have to close within 48 hours when gale force winds from Gordon are expected to arrive. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Now, how much money will all those closeted Republican convention goers bring into the city, Marie?
A lot. The average area prostitute normally makes around $200 to $300 a week jerking off truck drivers behind the bus station.
I see.
Next week, they are expecting to make 30 times that amount sucking off secretly gay Republicans.
Wow.
You figure the fact that these delegates are so repressed and filled with self-hatred,
yes,
they tend to like the filthiest, kinkiest sex acts imaginable.
Oh, that's
which
right.
tends to cost more. The average well-adjusted gay man has no desire to smear fecal matter all over his partner's face or be beat up by him. But that is exactly the sort of thing that these repressed conservatives are willing to pay top dollar for.
Okay, as well as the services of transsexuals, I understand.
Yes. A lot of the Republicans repeatedly call the prostitutes faggots or start crying after they've had sex with them.
I suppose the prostitutes are shoring up on their politics so they can talk to the Republicans.
Ha ha, Andrea, what do you think this is? Pretty woman? They're just there to get
right. Thank you, Marie Byron.
RNC's always a good time.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Are you two awake?
Yeah, I'm arguing on Discord with people.
Well, because we're broadcasting dead air.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. There's Chris. So, hey there. How we doing today, guys? It is Will Coley, your host of The Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Joined in the studio by our member of the terrorist watch list, Mr. Chris Wade of Think Penguin. I got to get me one of those, bro, because I know I got to be on at least 3. I mean, come on, you know.
Well, I mean,
crypto enthusiast, not a fan of the government.
The humorous thing is we're almost all on a list, one list or another. Have you ever visited a foreign website? Because that puts you on one of the lists. And they use it as an excuse because then they can just say anybody they want is a terrorist and therefore, you know, we're on some terrorist watch list and discredit them.
Yeah. I've been accused of it. I had a lady send me a message privately because she read an article about charity work that I was doing. And was like, I just caught off the phone with the FBI. You should be getting a knock on your door in a couple of days. I just reported you and your skank wife for rolling with ISIS. And I'm like, huh? Like that's and that I get random messages like that, like, I don't know, once every 4 or 5 months. Just some random person decides to Google like some
have they ever tried to like interview you as a result of it?
No. Now, I did have an interview with the FBI years and years ago. I had basically I was guilty of joyriding. I was in a car that someone else had stolen, and we were riding around in it. And I ended up doing 4 months in jail over that because of the way Florida's laws work and the way the court systems are there. And
messed up.
I was in a felony area because they didn't have joyriding laws in Florida. So they arrested me for stealing a car, even though the other person confessed at the scene that like they stole the car days before they ever met me. They'd been riding around in the stolen car for like 3 weeks.
So like you didn't even know it was stolen.
Well, no, I did. I did. I knew it was.
But did they know that you know that
when I first got in the car, I didn't know that it was stolen.
Okay, well
but
then
within a couple days of me riding around it, I figured out that it was stolen. It was finally admitted like, well, actually, this is my parents' car and they totally don't know that they know that I took it now, but I didn't ask. I was like, okay, but I was young and stupid, like this is 20 years ago, literally.
Does that really
20
constitute like as a third party to that?
Yeah.
Does it really
because
know?
Florida's laws are it's if you are in the car, you stole it. So they charged
that's insane. 5
people with stealing a car that one person confessed that they stole in a completely different state. Like we didn't know this person at all. So yeah. So we weren't involved in the theft in any way. And I completely lost my train of thought.
I was visited by goons once.
Oh yeah, the FBI. Anyway, so while I was in jail, this guy comes is in my cell, and he's like this joker, goofy guy, right? And we're chatting, and we're talking about all these banks that he has scoped out from here to Kentucky, and it was Florida, and basically that you could hit. If you were smart, you could hit 5 or 6 banks in 2 days and then stop and keep going north and be in Canada and have enough money to retire for, 5 or 6 years if you and invest and never have to work again, maybe. And it was just the kind of stupid things that inmates talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because we got nothing else to do. Well, this idiot decides when he gets out of jail, he's going to do it. And he does do it. Only he also tries to rob the banks on his way back. He decides he's going to drive back south. Like he gets all the way to Kentucky from Florida robbing these banks and decides that he's going to hit the banks that he missed. Because there was like 10 of them, but you can only hit like 4 or 5 of them. It's just the only way you can do it. If you try to hit them all, it'll take too long and you're going to end up busted.
Okay.
Right? And well, that was how we thought it would work. And so he robbed the banks, and somehow, even though there was this huge chase and all this other stuff, he got away. So the FBI is calling me and they're like, so what was your involvement? And I'm like, my involvement? What do you mean my involvement? I haven't talked to this guy since the day I got out of jail. Like, I don't know who he is outside of the jail. I never met him before I went to the jail. I was in jail in a different state from where I live. Like he's just a guy who, like, has he called you? No. Why? How would he call me? We don't know each other. And well, do you know where he might go? Again.
You don't know.
You said he already robbed all the banks, right? Yes. Well, then I have no idea where he might go. And if he's stupid, he might try to rob another bank, I guess. I mean, that's what it looks like he's doing. And they're like, okay. So you're sure you don't know where he is? And I'm like, bro, you can tap my phone. You can give me a lie detector. You do whatever the hell you want to do. I don't know this man. I haven't spoken to him since the day I was like, all right, guys, you have a nice life. I'm going back to Tennessee as I walked out of the jail in Central Florida. So that's my only encounter.
You were still in jail when they...
No, I was at home in Tennessee.
Oh, and so I had been released and everything.
It was like over a year before when I had been in jail. I had been out of jail for over a year. And this guy got out and pulled off all these bank robberies, and they had heard from other inmates that they spoke to that he and I had joked about, like this, like Thelma and Louise grand movie style, thing that because we had nothing to do, like we should have wrote it down and sold it as a movie script, right? It would have made a bunch of money. But he decided to try to rob a bunch of banks going up to Kentucky. Maybe
that's plan B, right?
Selling it after you're... And I'm like, really this... You said, and then he turned around in Kentucky and drove back to Florida? He goes, yes. And I was like, oh, wow. He's really dumb. Really dumb. Like, robbing the first bank is really dumb because they always catch bank robbers. Always. I mean, it's not the 50s anymore. It's not the 80s anymore.
At least that kind of bank robbery for sure.
Yeah. 98% of people who go into a bank and walk out with money that it doesn't belong to them end up in a jail cell within 3 months. So that was the first idiot thing that he did. The second idiot thing was to try to rob multiple banks driving along Interstate 75. And then he added the bonehead to that of, you know what? I couldn't get all the banks on the way up. Maybe I should drive back across the interstate and cover the ground that I've already been through and robbed banks and rob other banks. You're not the Federal Reserve, bro. You can't get away with stealing on that level. You are not a congressman, my friend. I am sorry. It doesn't work that way for you. You stupid Argo. And that's the first time I've ever had to deal with the FBI. And that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when people commit crimes is that they forget that they can't keep doing it. You got to stop. You got to evaluate the risk versus reward ratio. Yeah. And people just don't do it.
Well, anyway, when we get back here, I got a story about Saudi Arabia is about to execute a Sunni imam for speaking out against their government. Nah, not Saudi. Of course not. When we get back here on the Call to Freedom.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's post pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
All right, welcome back to the Call of Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Horizon.global studios here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And it's a hot day here in the Shire. We've kind of hinted at a story we've got. We want to make sure that we cover today. I wanted to kind of preface that whole discussion with something that I've used in arguments many times as far as what's going on. A lot of people talk about Saudi Arabia, like they look at Saudi and they go, "That's Mecca, yo. That's where that's you. The way they do things, that's you. That's who you are." Because it's got to be. That's the the two most holy cities in the religion are in that country. So the way they do things there has to be, y'all. That's the way it is. When the truth actually is that the Saudi government is involved in probably one of the most egregious erasures of history ever. First, they went in, and in the last 100 years that they've been in power, because they weren't always in power. They rose to power because the British put them in power 113 years ago. Well, the same year the Federal Reserve was created. Odd, huh? And when that happened, they immediately began tearing down historical monuments. So like the home where the Prophet Muhammad's mother was born, that was torn down and a public restroom built in its place. That's a pretty... What? Right? That's... Right? Yeah, wait, what, huh? A restroom? Yes. They put a public toilet where the house of where Muhammad was born. They tried to tear down the mosque where he is buried, and the community went so bananas that they stopped. When you pull into the city of Mecca, the first thing that you see is McDonald's. Golden arches. The golden arches of McDonald's tower above the Kaaba, the most holy point in Muslim religion, and McDonald's literally towers above it. You can see the golden arches from inside. It's disgusting. But they're not only doing this to the buildings and tearing down the historical monuments within Saudi Arabia, they've literally destroyed entire mountains.
Why would they do that?
To expand.
Oh.
To be able to build more things. And the Prophet ﷺ actually talked about, like, this is a sign of the end of days, is when the Arabs level mountains, and when the Arabs, what he calls the barefoot goat herders of the desert, which is who the Saudis were, compete with each other to build buildings to the sky, which is what they're doing. UAE and all of them. Yeah, definitely. And it was said in the 600s that these people would do this, that they would do all of this, and this would be like a sign of the end of time. But they're also changing our books, and that's where things is the biggest problem. Is they've been able to change the religion and the understanding of the religion over the course of the last 4 generations, I guess is what 100 years would be, 4 or 5 generations. And they've been able to do that by changing the books. And again, this is, the founder of the first Islamic university in the U.S. He wandered the desert with the Bedouin. Many of these current Bedouin tribes are descendants of scholarly families that used to reside in Mecca. And when the Saudis took over, they had to flee into the desert because the Saudis were killing the scholars, because the scholars disagreed with their violent, extremist, anti-freedom, anti-human viewpoints of the religion. And this is a pretty good discussion of that fact.
In terms of dealing with Muslims, the basic premise has to be compassion. We have to have compassion for our brothers and sisters. And we have to recognize that all these ayahs and hadith that are brought up about having ghilza and mubtada and, frowning in the face of the innovator and all of these things. Those hadiths were all related when the ummah was filled with knowledge, and they apply to times when people's deviancy is clearly unacceptable. When you have times where nobody knows anymore what the truth is. I mean, our books now are being manipulated. Last night we were looking at I was showing people that I have in my own library, different books at different periods. The same book that was printed in 1970, and it has things in it that were taken out of later editions because the publishing house was purchased by a certain sect that didn't want those ideas being disseminated in the ummah. And so people don't even realize that their books are being manipulated. The tradition of Islam is being changed in computers. And things are being blacked out or deleted, just re-typeset, so that you read a book and you think you're reading what that author said, and people have removed from it. And that's one of the things that Allah says about الَّذِينَ يُحَرِّفُونَ الْكَلِمَ عَنْ مَوَاضِعِهِ, those who change or alter words from their appropriate places. So people don't even realize that the deen is being changed before their very eyes, although the deen is protected, and we believe that. But that does not mean that you can't have what's called a type of treachery that has occurred historically, and it occurred even at the time of Imam Sha'rani, said that people put things in their books. There are people on the internet that write things about people that have never happened. And then it becomes a lie. And one of the hadiths that's in the Sahih, the Prophet ﷺ said that يَأْتِي عَلَى النَّاسِ زَمَانٍ يَتَكَلَّمَ الْمَرْءُ بِالْكَذِبِ فَيَبْلُغُ الْآفَاقِ, that there's coming a time when somebody will tell a lie and instantaneously it will reach the corners of the earth. Because fa is harf ta'qib, it's something that happens, it's not ba'da muhla, it's something that happens just after. Ja amrun fa zaydun, like Amr came in and then immediately after Zayd. And the hadith says that a man will speak a lie, and he didn't say thumma, he said fa yablugh al-afaq. It will immediately thereafter be all over the world. And that's one of the things. And one of the things about liars in Sharia is you're a liar if you tell something that you have not confirmed its veracity. A lot of Muslims don't know that because they haven't studied the rules of the tongue. Kadhab in the Arabic language is somebody who continually tells lies. It's different from kadhib. And in the hadith literature, a person would be declared a liar if he didn't verify the sanad. There's people read the books of hadith now, mustalahat al-hadith, and they say, وَكَانَ كَذَّابًا. And they say, oh, he was a liar. And they don't understand that the ulama sometimes meant, he wasn't wada'. He wasn't somebody that fabricated hadith. He was somebody that did not verify the truthfulness of the hadith and would relate it as if it was true.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom live on LRN.fm. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.fm.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Horizon.global, studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And we've been, that was, you heard earlier, that's, of course, Sheikh Hamza Yusuf, who we're still trying to get on the show. But he's very, and schools just started too, so it's never going to happen. That's what my wife told me when I first started, like 4 years ago, and I was like, I'm going to get Hamza Yusuf on the show. She's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, no, I am. I'm going to get Hamza Yusuf, and I'm going to get Zaid Shaker, and I'm going to get Suhaib Webb, who I don't even want on the show anymore, and I'm going to get, and I just named
He didn't mean that. We want you on the show.
Okay.
Suhaib Webb. Why not?
No.
Okay. But he did mean that then.
Yeah. It'd be like, hey, Linda, I wanted Linda Sarsauer to come on the show, like 2 years ago, and now I would, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, we were hearing him talk about basically, Saudi is a horrible example, and that, by the way, that's who he was talking about when he was like, so a certain sect bought this printing press, and it's like the Saudis. That's who it was, and that's how they do it. And I've got books now. Like if you go to get like free Muslim books from a place, 9 times out of 10 they come from Darul Islam. It's the name of a printing company. It's owned by Saudi, and Darul Islam is everywhere now. I specifically avoid them because their translations are so openly sectarian that PBS did a documentary about it called Inside Quran, spelled with a K. Like they purposefully spelled it wrong with a K because of the fact that they were talking about mistranslations. And Saudi Arabia puts anti-Christian, anti-Jewish, and pro-sectarian language into the text that doesn't exist in the original. So like in the prayer, the Fatiha, there's a line that says, make us not from among those, make us from among those who follow the straight path. And in a Saudi Quran, at the end of that, there will be a set of parentheses that says, not like the Christians and the pagans. And then the other one says, and guide us away from the path which would gain your wrath. And in the parentheses next to it, it says, like the Jews. So it's like, but the word Nasara, the word Yahud, the Arabic words for those two, it's not in the text at all. It's just their inference to remind you that Saudi Arabia thinks these people are bad.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising. The first thing any authoritarian group or any authority in power wants to do is control what people are being taught.
Yeah.
That's why we have the public education system here in the United States. I mean, that's their goal. If they can shape people's minds, if they can teach people what is true and what isn't, even whether it's true or not is irrelevant. If they can convince people that something is true and that this other thing isn't, then their system of power becomes perpetual. Because the only way those people could break out of that is to learn that what they're being taught isn't true. But if the information that they're being taught is controlled directly by the people telling them crap that isn't true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the Big Brother in 1984 was presented as perpetual.
Now what?
That's why Big Brother in 1984 was presented in the novel as perpetual and never going to be defeated. Because it so effectively controlled
because it
information.
Controlled everything. Yeah. Everything, not just.
Information is the only thing that really matters.
Yeah.
If you control the information in the right way, then you can make the masses beat themselves.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Well, like now, like I was talking about before, you had 4 mutually orthodox schools. The last school died out like 200 years ago. It's gone. So now it's down to 4 mutually, but those schools were seen as mutually orthodox. Like if you were Hanafi, then a Maliki and a Hanafi could pray together. You could be a Maliki that went to a Hanafi because it's mutually orthodox. The differences are basically cosmetic. Like where you put your hands while you pray. Stuff like that. Like fiqh. Things that have nothing to do with belief. What do you believe?
Like Baptist and Methodist, really. I mean, it's just some trivial little
Yeah,
disagreement.
Do you allow singing and instruments or only singing? That kind of triviality. So it was always considered mutually orthodox. Well, the difference is Baptists and Methodists won't actually go to church together. They will seek each. They won't. They
don't. But they don't want to kill each other either.
True.
Most of the time.
Well,
and if they do, it's not generally over that.
Yeah. So, but they were all mutually orthodox. And what happened was about 200 years ago, this new school of thought developed that said, it was a very Protestant Christianity version.
And they're like, we can just
Islam.
kill people who don't agree with us.
Well, not only that, but I can just pick this book up and without understanding any context at all, interpret the book without any help at all. I don't know if the inflection was on this word or that word. I don't know if it was a question or what. I'm just reading a book that said this person said this and this person said this person said this person said this. And it's just a list of quotations. I don't know how to verify which quotations are valid and which ones aren't. I don't understand how the scholars over the course of 1,400 years have understood these quotations or how the people who were in the room when it was said are said to have understood those quotes. I don't know any of that. But I can just pick up all of these books that for 1,200 years you were not allowed to touch without scholarly and academic backgrounds. Laymen didn't read
Well, that was
Hadith
similarly
books.
true of Christianity. That's why the Catholic Church resisted the Bible being translated into English. They wanted it to stay in Latin because that way they could control what people were learning. Only the scholarly church could properly interpret things for the masses.
This was different in that it was encouraged. Quran is in Arabic, and it's encouraged for every Muslim to learn how to read, write, and speak the language of the Quran. What's the word? Literacy is a huge thing in Islam. If you teach a person to read, you get out of prison. It's the same as freeing a slave in reward to teach a person to read. So it's a big deal. Literacy is a big deal in Islam. But there are other books. There are books of jurisprudence. There are books of hadith. There are people that they spent their 40 years of their life studying hadith, and they themselves said at the end of 40 years, they understood 10%. And these are our greatest scholars, people that spent, like I said, 40, 50 years of their life studying just this subject. And this new view came along that if I just became Muslim yesterday, I can just pick these books up and totally understand them and know everything. I know that, he didn't mean that statement as a question. He meant it as a statement. Even though I have no context, no nothing. I've not read the works of the people who were actually there. I haven't read anything by Ibn Abbas or Ibn Masud or any of those people, Yahya, none of those folks. I've not read any of the books of the people who were actually there. I'm just picking this stuff. And that's where the Wahhabis came from. That's where the extremism came from. All of that stuff came from this Protestant version of Islam that's been, packaged, purchased, printed, and promoted with American oil, the money that you spend to fill your car up, basically. Every time you fill your car. And now, because of the fact that they've got the war going on with Yemen, we are big buddies with them because they give us back that oil money for fighter jets that we don't need. Works out.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agorist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agoristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agorist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agoristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agoristhosting.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Horizon.Global studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, this story is just so disturbing. We've been basically gilding the lily for the whole hour here, trying to get to it. Saudi prosecutors have demanded the death penalty for a prominent Sunni scholar named Salman al-Odeh on Tuesday, according to his son and Saudi rights groups. Odeh, who is 61 and an internationally renowned Sunni Muslim scholar and cleric known for his progressive views on controversial social issues. He was referred to a secret trial in mid-August in Riyadh after nearly a year in detention without charges. Saudi official media announced Tuesday that, quote, a person affiliated with a terrorist organization was sentenced to death but didn't name Oda. Saudi rights activists told the Middle East Eye that leaked news from a Riyadh court confirmed that the person is Salman al-Oda, who is affiliated with the International Union of Muslim Scholars, an organization that the kingdom has labeled a terrorist group. Nobody else but the Saudis call them that, though. They're a group. They're like remember the Marrakesh declarations where they were like, it was all these Muslim scholars got together and affirmed that the Muslim governments should protect the rights, lives, and property of the non-Muslim citizens in their borders as is required by the religion. That's the kind of stuff that the IUMS is usually involved in.
Well, when the state has the intelligentsia and the intelligentsia is not doing what the state wants them to do, which is, to provide arguments to justify state power and state oppression, then the scholars have to go. That's just all there is to it.
Charges were not declared at the beginning of the trial. Instead, on Tuesday, the state prosecutor brought 37 charges against Oda, including leading a terrorist group and, quote, inciting public opinion against the ruler. Oh no, he spoke out against the crown. Oh, but wait a second. He didn't. In response to the news, thousands of Saudis took part in a viral hashtag on social media.
That'll fix it.
Salman al-Oda is not a terrorist, and demanded his release. The death penalty against Oda would be a bad omen for what is yet to come. Yahya Asiri, activist and director of the London-based Al-Qist human rights organization, told the Middle East Eye. Oda, Asiri said, is not a typical political opponent. He wouldn't publicly criticize Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman or the Saudi government. But it is his reformist views that threaten the state. By declaring such sentences, the Saudi authorities seek to silence everyone or to force people into non-peaceful means of opposition. Oda was detained September 10th of last year, along with 20 other people, as a part of a crackdown that saw many moderate clerics detained after Mohammed bin Salman became the kingdom's crown prince and heir to the throne on June of 2017. The wave of arrest also targeted feminist and human rights activists, powerful business figures, and what's been seen as a campaign to purge Saudi Arabia of dissent against his rule. Oda, who has more than 14 million Twitter followers, was arrested after tweeting a prayer for reconciliation between Saudi Arabia and its Gulf neighbor, Qatar. May God harmonize between their hearts for the good of their people, he said.
Wait, he was advocating reconciliation?
And peace between Muslims.
No, we can't have that.
This reminds me of a movie I saw once about the year during British Empire, basically. Somebody saying, or maybe even prior to that, saying something to the effect of, my country, it's not my country, it's the king's country. And then having their head chopped off or something to that effect, because it yeah.
Yeah. On August 6th, the state prosecutor sought a death penalty. Oh, wait, hold on. Last June, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Egypt severed diplomatic ties with Qatar, accusing it of supporting Islamic militants and destabilizing the region using its media outlets, including Al Jazeera, which, by the way, is one of the most liberal rags out there. So, of course, the Saudis hate them. On the 6th of August, the state prosecutor sought a death penalty for female human rights defender Isra al-Ghamram. Wow. That's terrible. Ghamram.
Was she also a terrorist?
Who had campaigned for the rights of the marginalized Shia minority in Saudi Arabia.
Clearly she was.
A prominent Saudi Shia cleric, Namir al-Namir, was executed. We actually covered this and had some people with his nephew's family on the show because they were threatening to execute him as well. This was January 2016. Namir al-Namir was executed after being convicted of terrorism charges, which were actually he led peaceful protests against the government, and so they arrested him and killed him. This was under Obama.
So they're kind of like Israel, but Arab instead of Jewish.
Basically, yeah. It's Texas. only in the Middle East.
Well, I don't think we do those things in Texas yet.
No, we totally do. Yeah, right. We totally do that in Texas.
It's definitely
Texas is crazy, yo. Texas, the state of Texas has almost as many has more executions than most countries on earth.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but they're not executing people for disagreeing with the state.
No, just for being black in the wrong place at the wrong time, basically. There are currently at least 58 people on death row in Saudi Arabia, most of them from Shia minorities, according to the latest tally by the European Saudi Organization for Human Rights. According to the anti-death penalty group Reprieve, execution rates have doubled in Saudi Arabia since bin Salman took over in 2017.
What is the rate of increase since the British installed the current royal family?
Right.
Because that's what I'd be curious to know. What's it up? 750 million%?
Right.
Somewhere around there?
The Saudi embassy in London did not immediately respond to the Middle East Eye's request for comment. So, blindfolds and shackles. They allowed him out for what they called gardening leave. He's been held for months in solitary confinement. Interrogated for tweeting a wish for Gulf reconciliation. I mean, how much more against humanity can you be? I mean, let alone the religion. Because
okay, so here's a better question: how does this actually undermine Saudi Arabia's leadership?
It doesn't.
He says something they didn't like.
I mean, but why? Like, what? Why don't they like it? Like, I'm not even sure if I understand.
Because they're pissed off at Qatar.
Yeah.
Because Qatar, hosts
so
Al Jazeera, and Al Jazeera is like, hey, you guys are messed up.
Yeah. Here's what's going on.
And they're like, hey, we're going to bomb you.
Qatar is covering what Saudi is doing in Yemen.
Okay.
And that is causing Saudi to lose face.
Okay.
So they target Al Jazeera and call Al Jazeera and Qatar terrorist groups because they're helping the bad guys. The Yemeni civilians that Saudi Arabia is bombing into hamburger meat.
If the news is a terrorist organization, then that ipso facto, you are doing something you should not be doing.
For real, yo. Israel and Saudi Arabia hate Al Jazeera because Al Jazeera is on the ground in Gaza when Israel's dropping bombs on girls' schools. And they get it on film, and that makes Israel look bad. And so when Saudi Arabia was like, let's call Qatar a terrorist group, America and Israel were like, yes, let's do that. That's a great idea. Then we won't. Then every time they show us being evil, we'll just be like, yeah, but they're terrorists, so you can't trust them. Isn't it convenient? And that's what we've got going on. I mean, it's going and Saudi Arabia, the U.S., Israel are. It's like the human centipede.
Mm.
Seriously,
it is. Everyone's mouth is to everyone else's anus.
Yeah,
and Britain is overlooking like, yes, look what I have built.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, the Queen is sitting on top of it, riding it with what are the cattle prod. Look at what I have created. It's like Tusk, I
don't get that one.
It's like the human centipede, but it had that kid that I don't remember what he's in. He's not important. Anyway, we'll be back with the Crypto Hour right after this.
North, an extremely vocal opponent of gay marriage, drew fire during his 2010 re-election campaign for saying that the legalization of gay marriage would lead to man-horse marriages. In one instance, he told the New Haven Register, quote, "It's a slippery slope. If we allow two men to marry, what's next? Men marrying horses?" But yesterday, North found himself at the center of a media firestorm when the New York Times published photos of North on what appears to be romantic outings with a horse. Gathered during the Times' 2-month investigation, the pictures show North in almost a dozen locations with the same 3-year-old mare. A former aide discovered links to numerous horse-related sites, including phillyfreaks.com and hothindquarters.com on North's work computer. The Times is accusing North of using federal funds to pay for luxurious trips, including a 3-night stay at the high-end Sueños stables in Catalonia, Spain last month. North released a statement yesterday claiming he only spent time with the horse twice while conducting research for his anti-gay marriage project.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, September 4th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.19 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,195 per ounce. Zen is trading at $20, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,373. Antiwar.com reports in a new tweet on Monday, President Trump warned Syria against attacking the rebels in Idlib province. He also warned Iran and Russia against participating in any such attack if it happens. Trump insisted the Russians and Iranians would be making a grave humanitarian mistake to take part in this potential human tragedy, saying that hundreds of thousands of people could be killed. Though Syria has not confirmed any specifics, it is believed that they are preparing to attempt to expel the rebels from Idlib, including the al-Qaeda-dominated faction, which UN officials say has 10,000 designed terrorists fighting within. Others estimate that overall some 70,000 fighters are within the province, and the densely populated area could indeed lead to large civilian death tolls in the fighting. The U.S. opposition is particularly noteworthy, however, because recent offensives against other densely populated cities and provinces, like Deir ez-Zor and Mosul, saw not only U.S. endorsement, but direct U.S. participation. Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology with a decentralized secure node architecture. The Horizon platform enables real-life uses beyond currency, including the ability to privately chat with other people. Soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. Horizon, bringing privacy to life. Learn more at horizon.global. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports a woman is dead after jumping out of a moving ambulance on a Northern California freeway. The California Highway Patrol said the woman, whose name had not been released pending notification of next of kin, got out of her restraints and overpowered an EMT before exiting the ambulance. She was then struck by multiple oncoming cars and died from the injuries, according to CHP officer Josh Roberts. Paramedics were taking the woman to the John George Psychiatric Hospital in San Leandro, California, after she got into an altercation with police in Pleasanton. According to the Mercury News, police responded to a call of a woman driving recklessly and hitting several cars, as well as a pedestrian, at around 2 a.m. Monday morning. During their attempt to apprehend the woman, two police officers used their taser to subdue her. After restraining the woman, she was taken to a hospital for a routine medical evaluation before paramedics attempted to take her to a psychiatric hospital. Roberts said investigators are looking into how the woman was able to get out of the ambulance. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? Will anybody care? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports Tropical Storm Gordon whipped the southern tip of Florida with high winds and rain on Monday and was expected to make landfall as a hurricane along the central U.S. Gulf Coast on Tuesday night, according to the National Hurricane Center. The storm is currently forecast to come ashore late on Tuesday near the border between Louisiana and Mississippi and drop as much as 8 inches of rain in some areas of the U.S. South, still reeling from hurricanes a year ago. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards declared a state of emergency, saying 200 Louisiana National Guardsmen were being deployed, along with 63 high water trucks, 39 boats, and 4 helicopters. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency warned of storm surges between 3 and 5 feet and told residents of South Mississippi to prepare to evacuate. The National Hurricane Center said Gordon was generating winds of 50 miles per hour on Monday as it steamed west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. By Monday afternoon, the storm had passed over Florida's southern tip. There were no reports of any injuries or deaths or damages to buildings, according to Alberto Moscoso, a spokesman for the Florida Division of Emergency Management. Last year, powerful hurricanes walloped Texas, Florida, and Puerto Rico, causing thousands of deaths, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of damage, massive power outages, and devastation to hundreds of thousands of structures. At the mouth of the Mississippi River, around the area of New Orleans, the storm could generate a surge of up to 4 feet, and smaller surges could hit coastland along other parts of the Gulf Coast. The U.S. Coast Guard also warned that the ports of New Orleans, as well as Gulfport and Pascagoula, Mississippi, may have to close within 48 hours when gale force winds from Gordon are expected to arrive. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
According to a new report released this week by the Pew Research Center, a rising number of weak, emasculated men are working as stay-at-home dads, with a steadily increasing number of feeble, pathetic fayboys choosing to spend their days cooking, cleaning, and performing other submissive duties.
Well, our findings indicate that more and more pussified half-men are not going to work, and instead are embarrassing themselves by purchasing groceries, packing children's lunches, and denying all aspects of their masculinity on a daily basis.
The Onion spoke to one of these effete, pathetic excuses for men to get his response on the new report.
I love being able to stay home with Angela. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
What a f***ing pussy. For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
All right, welcome into the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. You know what? Watching this video after what happened last week or the week before, Carlos is the only person on that stage that isn't in prison right now. Because the Indian
but he's
dude,
the face of it, you know.
The Indian dude and the Indian chick with the goofy grins on their faces, they got arrested a couple weeks ago in India.
Oh, the poor things.
My wife, she says this is a scam. Yeah, bro, you should have listened to her. My wife, she says this sounds like a scam.
Can't ignore a woman's intuition, man.
Right? Right? Some of us have done that too.
Yeah. It rarely ends well.
It does rarely end well. So, lead story today. This is great. Come on over here, Aria. You didn't even see this yet. You got to see the picture at the top of this. First of all, no, you and I both know the Walmart in Keene sucks. So we will not be finding these there. We'll have to drive to Hinsdale, half an hour from here probably. Says, save money, buy Bitcoin. Walmart introduces dollar chocolate cryptocurrencies.
Which is hilarious, like you couldn't price it in like Bitcoin. It's like,
Right.
is it, or accept Bitcoin for it or something?
Well, I need to know, is this an actual cryptocurrency or is it just chocolate?
While investors complain over suppression of Bitcoin prices in 2018, the largest cryptocurrency quietly debuted at U.S. Walmart stores for just $1. As multiple Reddit users revealed this week and last
So hold
outlet...
on, you get both the crypto and chocolate?
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
I don't
this
know.
is how you sell crypto. Package it with chocolate. Get on the phone with the Motion people. Tell them, hey, start giving away chocolate.
I kind of like that idea, actually.
I do too.
Yeah.
Give away $1 worth of Bitcoin with a piece of chocolate attached to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Says, as multiple Reddit users revealed this week and last, outlets of the retail giant have become full of Bitcoins for the everyday low price of $1. These coins, however, are made of chocolate. The unusual merchandise comes courtesy of Frankfurt, a candy manufacturer based in Philadelphia. While neither Frankfurt nor Walmart itself has provided public commentary on the impetus behind the move, commentators have already begun hailing it as further proof of Bitcoin's march into the mainstream consciousness. Previously, Walmart's only Bitcoin hookup appeared to be via its online store, on which it sold explanatory literature about cryptocurrency. Prospective investors can also use Walmart as an intermediary to purchase Bitcoin through the company's Walmart to Walmart transfer operation. Outside Bitcoin itself, meanwhile, Walmart has been far from dormant. The past few years have seen a raft of blockchain patents emerge, with executives keen to leverage the technology in an effort to streamline its supply chain and beyond. As reported in June, one such successful patent application could result in Walmart allowing customers to purchase energy using cryptocurrency. Chocolate coins, nonetheless, mark a conspicuous targeting of an altogether different market, namely children and families, a niche which remains broadly untouched by consumer-oriented cryptocurrency businesses. I'm going to have to argue that that's not true. Well, I guess in Keene, because I can take my kids out to eat, we can go get haircuts, we can get dental work done. I mean,
yeah.
You can get all of
car repairs,
Malta Automotive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of stuff. I don't know if there's anywhere here in town I can buy my kids clothes yet, but give it time.
Yeah.
Any of these secondhand stores ought to be easy to hook into accepting crypto.
The problem is we're the only libertarian crypto family in the area that has small kids. Nobody else really does.
Yeah, but they don't all sell just kids' clothes.
The
I
kids'
need to buy a
clothes
pair of
one-
black pants, and I'm almost certainly going to go to one of those because
Yeah,
I
the
only need them
kids-
for work. I
Well,
don't
if you
wanna buy
can
a
get
pair of
Urban Outfitters
$50
to take
pants.
it, the same people own all three stores. They're those consignment stores there on the corner. So the same people own them all. So if you got one, that means all three more than likely. Problem is well, I mean, unless you can
Well, I mean, even
convince
if it's
Bob
only
to put
one-
on a dress, you don't have anybody. There's nobody here. There's really no girls except for you and my wife in the community here.
Yeah, but if it's only one sale a month, it doesn't cost them anything to do.
It also, to them, is like, well, why do it for one sale a month?
Because that's one more sale a month.
Yeah, but one, and no company does something for what they envision is a
it's-
single sale a month.
You gotta have enough. The thing with crypto is if you're gonna promote it, you want to promote different types of businesses where everybody in your crypto community, anybody who's using crypto is actually going to use it. Because if you don't, then it's just gonna you're just gonna lose places, and that's not gonna look good. So certainly the way to go is places like car mechanics and dentists and
I don't know, man.
Restaurants,
I ran a company for about 6 years in Mississippi, and it didn't matter to me if a client only came to me once every 4 years. They still got my full attention when they came to me. It didn't matter. Oh, well, I'm not going to reach out to that client and help them because they only come to me once every 4 years. Screw that. Money's money. I don't know. I guess I just have a different perspective on it than they do. To me, the prospect of one extra sale a month for doing something that costs me nothing is a no-brainer.
Well, but the problem is it does. It costs time and energy and resources to figure it out and accept it. I know it doesn't take much. I'll give you that. But for something that somebody is not familiar with, getting over that hurdle.
Very true.
Is it's work,
You said these are Bitcoins?
Right.
Where do I buy them?
Well, we do have a caller on the line joining us from Vermont. We've got Rob from Vermont. Hey, what's up, Rob? What do you think, and why do you think it?
Hey, how you doing, Will? Hi, Aria. Hi,
Hey,
Tom.
Rob.
How you guys doing?
Well, Tom's not on today. We got Chris with us today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right, Chris. All right. I'm sorry. I'm late coming into the show, but I wanted to talk with you. Go, hey, all that excitement with Dogecoin.
I have seen that. It's
Yeah.
up to what, two pennies now?
Is it? Wait. What? I thought it was only
Really?
up to 0.005. Did I miss?
The last I looked, it was at 2 pennies.
Man,
The last time when I bought into Dogecoin was at 24 thousandths of a cent. Now it's over 50.
50 cents?
It's over 50 thousandths of a cent.
It's up to a penny.
Yeah, it's up to a penny. It was at 2 pennies.
Wow.
Wow.
So what happened?
And the other thing that's really kind of exciting about this is that it's being sponsored by Yahoo and then Robinhood.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you haven't seen that yet, huh?
Yeah, Robinhood, the exchange.
Okay, I thought you meant the parking meter people.
No, that would be
No.
That would be funny.
It would be awesome
That
if
would be
they
hilarious.
could just pay
I
people's
wish-
parking meters in Doge.
I
just
wish
go
I
out
could
and-
convince Doge to give me money to wrap my van as a gigantic Dogecoin advertisement. That would be the cool. Like, just give me the $5,000. Just give me $5,000. I'll put the wrap on it. I drive all over the country. I'm happy to add.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
My name is Angel Rach. I'm a mother of 2 teenage children, and I fought all the way to the Supreme Court for the right to use the medicine that saved my life. I've been permanently disabled for 10 years, with an inoperable brain tumor, wasting syndrome, and several other serious conditions. For 4 years, I was in a wheelchair, in so much pain I couldn't even hug my kids. The hardest part was looking in their eyes and seeing how much they were suffering because of my medical condition. The medicine that gave me my life back and gave my kids their mom back was cannabis, also known as medical marijuana. With medical marijuana, I can walk, maintain my weight, and I can be a mom. Without it, my doctors believe that I would die. To learn more about medical marijuana, contact Marijuana Policy Project at 1-877-JOIN-MPP or on the web at mpp.org.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live from our Horizon.global studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And we've got on the line with us, we've got Rob from Vermont talking about the explosion in the price of a Dogecoin. I was looking, you know what, I lost out on a $10 gain. You know, I had $3 worth of Doge, and it would be worth about $13.30 now. So, I mean, it's not like it's not like somebody else that I know that had like 500,000 Doge or he had 1 million Doge.
Well, I mean, that's the
thing
with
those. And then he sold it all for Vertcoin, and 3 days later, Doge went to $1. And well, we all saw what Vertcoin did.
Wow.
I mean, Doge went to a penny like 3 days later. So what's 1 million pennies?
Okay, so I went ahead and I bought when Dogecoin was at 24 thousandths of a cent. When I heard that it was going to go up, I bought $100 worth. Okay, and you know I doubled what I made, and it's still there.
Hold on. You have not doubled what you made. You still have exactly the same amount of Doge that you had before.
No, I may have the same amount of Doge.
In order to have doubled your money, you would have to sell that Doge.
Yes.
And convert it into fiat. Theoretically, yeah, you've doubled your money.
Right.
But
I mean,
really.
If you don't actually sell it off and get the cash back out, then the Doge is nothing's really changed.
Or spend it.
Or spend it.
Or
That's
spend
right.
it. That's
right.
true. Yeah. I don't think anybody around here takes Doge.
You can use it on.
No, that's not true at all.
What about 101 Local Goods?
You can use it on Route 101 Local Goods, or you can use it on Purse.io.
There's all kinds of people that use Dogecoin out there.
Well, I said I don't think. I didn't
Pork
say
Fest, man.
Nobody out here takes Doge.
Hey,
Didn't say
you're
that.
saying that in the wrong place. You know, I mean, it's like this is Keene,
This is
man.
crypto
You're gonna be able to
capital,
find
yeah.
somebody who will
Are you
take it.
telling me, Chris, that there isn't anybody in Keene that takes Dogecoin?
He literally just said the exact opposite.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
if I still had the
Christian,
trailer and
I'm
you wanted
here
to
to
buy
tell
it for
you that in
1,000 Doge.
first-hand experience, Chris is wrong.
Well, you heard it first from Rob. No one in Keene takes Doge.
No, there is somebody. There's more than one person in Keene that takes Dogecoin.
Well, I was saying, if we still had that
there's
trailer.
more than one person in New Hampshire that takes Dogecoin. Well, what is it?
Really nice.
The store up in Portsmouth, the one that Derek J had. They had a
fair enough,
Bitcoin
but
machine up
Portsmouth is
there,
not
and
Keene.
that Bitcoin machine will sell you Dogecoin.
Which is cool. But
Really cool.
that is not.
You'll get
that
to
is not
see it in
Keene.
person in a few weeks when we go up there for the event. By the way, big event coming up next month. New Hampshire blockchain and crypto. What is it? The blockchain and digital asset conference in Portsmouth.
That's next month?
That's
Already?
next month. Yeah, October.
No way.
It's September, yo. Yeah, October the 11th, I believe it is. You'll see myself there and Aria along. We'll be broadcasting our show live on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Talking to all the great crypto folks that'll be there speaking on Saturday. Yeah, we do.
Saturday.
We have a Saturday. We have a spot.
When did Saturday start?
Well, we have a slot
I
reserved
think
for
it's already-
Saturdays, specifically so when events like this happen, we can broadcast live from the event. Like I'll be broadcasting live I'll be the Saturday before that, I'll be broadcasting live from the International Students for Liberty Southeast Regional Conference. Yeah.
Cool.
Lots and lots of fun. So yeah, we'll be going down there for that. And it will be a blasty blast.
And bring your Dogecoin because there'll be plenty of people around that'll accept it.
Not at the Southeast Regional Conference, but there will be at the Digital Asset and Blockchain Conference. You should.
Right, exactly. That's what I
And
meant
while
to say.
you're there, you can see the Bitcoin Village, which is a really cool little spot. You got Bitcoin shops up and down the street. You got the Bitcoin shop, the Free State Bitcoin shop, or whatever it's called.
I don't know if that's open anymore.
Really?
Now, there is something else too, also that I learned, but I haven't got a link to it yet. But Dogecoin is supposed to pair up, or may pair up with UPS, but I haven't found the link to that yet.
UPS. Very cool. I want a Doge. I want a Doge van. That's what I want. I want a Doge van.
Okay, so
we need to make it happen.
I want a Doge. I want one of the dogs, man.
Oh, the Sherpa or whatever they're called?
Yeah, whatever they're called.
I can't even remember what they're called.
I got a Doge.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, the actual Doge died. Doge is dead.
Dude,
Doge.
you made that like the saddest segment on the show.
Doge. The Doge.
We'll have to turn Will's van into a Doge van.
Well, I want to see if I can convince the Dogecoin people to pay me. Be like, look, I travel around all these conventions and stuff. I almost always drive, and you'll
need to get them to pay for your divorce as well.
Who's the owner of Dogecoin now?
If I get him to do it in blue with the Doge, she'll be okay with it as long as the background color is blue.
Okay, cool then.
Yeah. That's all I got to do is be like, look, let's do this awesome thing. We'll do the whole thing in blue, and then we'll do like the Doge colors over the top with a Doge on the hood and the Doges on the side, and we'll make some of those things that cover your windows that you can still see through them that have like the Doge on the window.
Yeah.
We'll just make it really, really cool, and you can give me money.
I want Dogecoin hubcaps.
That would be
That would be so awesome, man. I would love it.
That would be
Poor
awesome.
man's Bitcoin.
Doge, we have ideas. Contact us.
For real.
Who's the program or the owner of Dogecoin now?
Some Reddit troll.
Really?
No, the guy that, what was his name?
I don't even remember now. I thought he got rid of. He's not the man anymore. Anyway, so thanks. What the world was that? Thank you for joining us today, Rob, and bringing us the story about Dogecoin.
I hope you prove correct about its trajectory.
I do too. I'm
telling you, it's going to hit $1 before the end of the year. And if it does, I'm going to take us all out to supper.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll take you up on that deal.
Very good. All right. All right, Rob. You have a great day. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
All right. So we'll be back with more right after this. All right. There we go. Anyway, we'll be back right after this. The Silk Road whale is selling off.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Because we are smothering in spam, please do not reply to all when you can instead reply. I was recently among over 100 invited to a corporate reunion. It's always a warm affair, and that's the problem. Enthusiasm for our upcoming get-together caused many recipients to RSVP the organizer with a cheery reply to all. I can't wait. Then others piled on with a reply to all to that. Then the "I'm out of my office now" autoresponders joined in. So I replied to all, asking that we all reply only to the organizer. Hey, at least I tried. One invitee, apparently retired, shot back, "Point taken, but I really like seeing the responses since they're so positive." Smiley face. This better be an open bar. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Horizon.global studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And we are in the middle of our crypto hour. And, there's a story here talking about the Silk Road sell-off. $800 million Bitcoin wallet sees mysterious movement. Now, Bitcoin community members continue to piece together the story behind a huge wallet containing 111,000 Bitcoins, which suddenly became active after 4 years. Coins ended up going to Bitfinex and Binance. The results of multiple analysis by Reddit user u/sick_silk reveal the owner of the wallet, which first appeared in May of 2014 with a balance of 111,114.615 Bitcoin, $802.4 million worth, has begun actively moving coins to destinations, including exchanges. Of the original hoard of 11,114 Bitcoin, 80.3 million is transferred to a Bitfinex wallet, while another 4,421, or 32 million, has gone to Binance. This represents 14% of the original funds and more than $110 million. As commentators consider whether the fresh activity marks the start of a sell-off of a giant stash of Bitcoins, others continue to examine the origin of the funds and possible identity of the wallet's owner. Several theories devised by u/sick Silk remain open, and including links to the now-defunct dark web marketplace Silk Road, a Mt. Gox cold storage wallet, and self-confessed Satoshi Nakamoto Craig Wright. The wallet could also belong to an anonymous major bag holder. As Bitcoinist has reported, Bitcoin markets had traditionally tanked as a result of large chunks of funds being traded for fiat. Mt. Gox, which continues to process refund requests from users who lost coins in the 2014 hack, had begun a round of huge sell-offs from November 2017 to reimburse creditors, a policy which has finally ended. At the same time, the wallet analysis came to light as fresh controversy swirled around Wright and a handful of other cryptocurrency industry figures regarding claims he is the creator, Nakamoto. For now, attention appears to be focused on Silk Road. While the possibility of the wallet's owner selling large amounts of Bitcoin failed to shake market confidence over the weekend, Bitcoin to US dollar conversely climbed to hold above the 7,200 mark, its highest point in nearly a month. So, what do you think, Chris?
Well, I don't think it's actually that much. I mean, relative to...
it's $800 million worth of Bitcoin.
Oh.
Total in the wallet.
Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought it was 8 million.
Well, there's total in the wallet, there's $800 million worth.
So what actually got moved?
$110 million worth.
Okay, so that's actually still substantially more than I...
Yeah, it's 14% of the load.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Certainly.
So, who's if it's the Silk Road wallet that the government has control of it?
I thought the government already sold it off.
They sold some of it. They auctioned off some of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's still a wallet with 100 and...
Because how else are they going to pay for their child porn servers, you know?
If there's 114,000 coins in a wallet somewhere, and the government has control of it, that's a lot of. That's a pretty big purse for the state. And what are they funding?
Yeah, it is.
What CIA operations are dark web purchasers and right? How much of this money is the CIA funneling? How much money went directly from the Silk Road to ISIS via the CIA?
100% of it. No, 98% of it. The other 2% used to keep their child porn servers running.
Yeah.
You forgot about the money that was stolen by the FBI agent so that he could try to have his wife killed.
Oh, yeah.
I did not forget about that. This is the first I've heard about that, but...
Yeah, the FBI agent that was involved
crazy
stole some Bitcoin, tried to have his wife hire a killer to have his wife killed. He got less prison time than Ross.
Doesn't surprise me.
And he actually was actively trying to have his wife murdered.
It reminds me very much of that athlete. I don't remember his name. He was a basketball player, but he had too many kids, and he got another woman pregnant, so he tried to have her killed.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and the judge, and he went before the judge, and he was like, no, it was a drug deal gone bad. And the judge said the same thing I would have said, only I would have said it sarcastically, okay, but if she dies, you have to come back. And sure enough, she died, and he tried to flee the country and got caught. I mean, some people are stupid, man.
Yeah.
And you would expect an FBI agent to know better.
Yeah.
And you would expect a professional NBA basketball player to have the money to not be so stupid.
No.
But, I mean, clearly, people are like, I've got money. I want to hire a hitman. So, hold on. The FBI agent used crypto to try to kill his wife. Did he attempt to purchase that service on Silk Road?
Yeah.
He did?
That's the best part.
That is so epic. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. It was the agent in charge of the investigation, right? If I'm not mistaken. Like the agent in charge of the investigation tried to buy a hit on his wife in real life. Like it wasn't a part of like a sting operation.
Look, man, just get a divorce.
Yeah, but then she gets the money and the kids. She gets everything, and you get to eat bologna and
but
ramen noodles.
When you go to prison,
you get to eat bologna and ramen and ramen noodles.
Oh wow!
you get the driest fried chicken that you will ever eat. you get the driest cornbread that has ever been chiseled off of a statue, and you get a little cup of Kool-Aid that has absolutely no sugar in it, and it's the same flavor every single day.
Oh, you know that Kool-Aid takes the color out of paint, right?
Does it?
Yeah. We spilled some on the table one day. We had a brown table, and when we got done, it was orange Kool-Aid, and when we got done, when we wiped the table, there was a white spot where the Kool-Aid had been. It pulled the color out of the paint, and they give that to inmates to drink. Yeah. They fill up old shampoo bottles with it and drink it by the bottle. This is the only way you can have. Yeah, it's awful, yeah. But yeah, while you're in prison, you get to eat bologna.
You do.
Yeah. And ramen noodles.
And what did they call it?
Like $3 a piece ramen noodles off the canteen.
The alcohol that they make out of
hooch.
Hooch, yes.
Hooch.
And you get hooch.
Yeah, hooch.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. It's like lighter fluid, but peach flavored.
Sort of peach flavored. Rotten peach flavored.
Yeah. Imagine if somebody took 5 5-pound bags of sugar and 4 gigantic cans of peaches and slices of bread for the yeast in them, actual slices of bread, and wrapped that all up in a garbage bag and hid it somewhere, usually inside of a toilet.
And
it's so gross.
And you get to play with Big Jim.
I already said that you get to eat bologna while you're in jail. I already said that you get bologna. You missed that one. So I'm ahead of you on that. And ramen noodles.
I don't know that you heard what I said.
I heard what you said.
Okay.
You said Big Jim, and I said, exactly. I already said you get to eat bologna.
Well, I understood
jail.
that until you added the ramen noodles in.
Well, yeah, you get to eat bologna and ramen noodles.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Juicy Juice, 100% juice, providing a full serving of fruit in every 4 ounces. Visit us at juicyjuice.com. When it comes to nutrition, kids need both fruits and vegetables every day to stay healthy and grow. For the ideal mix, your kid should have at least 1.5 cups of any veggie or 100% veggie juice, and 1 cup of any fruit or 100% fruit juice a day. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Join Daryl W. Perry on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio as he brings you news, views, and opinions while promoting the ideas of peaceful interaction.
The FBI or CIA or NSA or any other government agency could also go to the FISA court and say that we want information on anyone associated with anyone who is under investigation by the FBI. If they could somehow connect you, my listener, to me, then you could possibly be subject to investigation by the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, or any other government agency. Not because I directly am under investigation that I am aware of, but as a donor to antiwar.com, and knowing that they have been investigated by the FBI, then it's very possible.
Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Rick? Hey, Morty. Rick? Are you far away or are you inside something? Is the camera? Is everything a camera?
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Horizon.global studios here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And we're talking about crypto because it's our crypto hour. And let's see here. I wanted to talk about the game. Maybe we'll have enough time to get to it. Yeah, because this is short.
This better not be another freaking CryptoKitty game.
It's better.
Oh boy.
Shapeshift has launched a new membership program that will eventually become mandatory for its users. Positioned as a loyalty program.
That's a good way to commit seppuku.
Positioned as a loyalty program, the initiative will see the startup offer a range of benefits while also moving to start collecting some personal information from its users, essentially forming a pivot away from its exchange without accounts model. In a blog post, Eric Voorhees wrote that the last detail sucks, in reference to the plan to make the membership program mandatory, which will take place sometime later this year. We would prefer if the collection of personal information was not a mandatory element.
Yeah, way to make Changelly look attractive, man.
Yeah, it's definitely not something I'll be using if it's going that route.
What it looks like is you're not going to have a choice because everyone's going to have to go that route.
There's something called Tor, and from what I understand, there is a bunch of online exchanges that don't operate within
I'm not sure
any known jurisdiction.
Yeah, for real, yo. Like, I'm not going somewhere. I'm not going and do, because you know that like a third of the people you're exchanging with on there are the FBI, more than likely. I don't care if it's Tor.
I don't care.
You know, it's not about Tor, because Tor is just it's like okay, so they can't track you in this way, but we'll find others.
But it doesn't matter for you as a user. What it matters is for the exchange, the operators.
Trust me, they'll find some way to make it about the users. They did with local.
There's more users than they have capacity to hold people. So
then they build more. Florida has high schools that they built too many prisons, so they literally converted prisons into high schools. West High School in Ocala, Florida, is where they built a prison because they thought they were, with mandatory minimums, they would get, and then they were forced by the Florida state constitution to change the law and let a bunch of inmates go. So that prison just sat there unused because it was never opened. And finally, they decided to convert it into a new high school. So trust me, they will build new prisons. This is America. We already have the largest prison population in the world. They're more than happy to have a third of the American public behind bars. We're turning into China.
Yeah,
effectively.
I don't disagree with the general premises, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything overnight.
Oh, Voorhees says, we still firmly believe that individuals, regardless of their race, religion, or nationality, reserve the right to financial privacy, just as they deserve the right to privacy in their thoughts, in their relationships, and in their communications. Such privacy is a foundational element of a civil and just society and should be defended by all good people. We remain committed to that cause, and it is best served if we are smart about our approach. Members will receive discounts on exchange rates, volume-based rewards for transacting with the Fox token, and higher transaction limits. The broader changes, according to Voorhees, are a result of requests from Shapeshift users for account-related features, and increased interest in tokenization, and the regulatory uncertainty surrounding cryptocurrency exchanges at present. That last one is the real reason. Membership is
I don't believe that Shapeshift users are like, hey, will you impose KYC? We would like to give you personal identifying information about us.
I've never signed up for an exchange, and I won't because of the KYM.
Well, I mean,
nonsense.
Some of them are really laid back, like local Bitcoins. Some of them are like, no, we have to have your date of birth, your social security card, your mother's maiden name, your seventh grandpa's testicle shapes. We have to know everything about you.
Yeah,
like
a
Coinbase.
3 or 4 month long verification process.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah. Membership is in essence an advanced loyalty program. It will lead over time to both better pricing and superior user experience.
That's how they always present it. It is never true.
While Shapeshift's adding new features for the program, Voorhees stressed it will remain a non-custodial exchange, meaning it will not hold customer funds.
I've already had troubles with Shapeshift.
It rarely works
for a while. Yeah,
it rarely works.
They've already forced me off their platform because they don't have anything. It used to work fine, and now it just doesn't work. It hasn't worked for months and months for me anyway. And so I had to move over to what was it, I think Evercoin and Changelly.
Evercoin, yeah.
Yeah, those are the two other ones that I've used.
Evercoin's expensive.
Well, using
Good God, their rates are high.
Using an actual
Really
exchange
compared to Shapeshift,
like
they're wicked
Crypto
high.
Bridge or something like that will be faster and cheaper.
Yeah, go through Crypto Bridge. It's faster. It's cheaper.
Is
KYC.
Is Crypto Bridge a website?
Crypto Bridge is an exchange.
But they're a crypto-only exchange. There's no fiat involved. So
And I have to sign up for an account.
No.
Just with an email address.
Yeah, just your email.
I'm not a fan of that.
But dude, there are anonymous email services all over the place.
No, I
Tor
realize
mail
that.
is one of them.
I'd still rather not enter any email address.
Well, the other story I wanted to be sure we got to, fantastical legends are ready to battle.
Oh, God.
Customizable creatures hatch into unicorns versus dinosaurs.
I'm going to have to
Rumble Legends.
I'm going to have to review one of these for the Eagle Times.
I know you are. How much money do you have?
Not any that I'm willing to waste on this crap.
Welcome back, dinosaur and unicorn fans. We have some excellent news. I don't think Aria can roll her eyes any harder. You can now get these exactly how you want
they're
them.
gonna keep doing it.
Unicorns versus dinosaurs is an Ethereum blockchain game that pits characters from these two legendary species against each other. Characters hatched from these eggs are unique, and their rarity values tied into their appearance and power. Additionally, players can sell or buy characters with other people using real money.
Of course they can.
Did you know unicorns actually lay eggs? They do. I swear. Deal with it.
I think
dinosaurs, of course,
would have to exist before they could lay eggs.
Wow. Do as well.
But hey, what do I know?
Both sets of these eggs can be bought and then sold. They have real world value.
You see where Pokemon Go went wrong? All they had to do was crap like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the most successful game of like 2016.
Oh my God, there's a video.
The Pokemon Company in Niantic could have bought the freaking world.
There's a video.
I don't want to hear it.
God. No, really, there's a video. I can't not
If there are
laugh.
more egg puns.
Oh, I'm sure there's 5,000 of them. I can't wait to want to shoot the whoever made it. Dinosaurs versus unicorns.
Off to a good
Rumble
start.
Legends.
In a world of Ethereum.
How are they not getting pulled down for copyright infringement?
First, there were dragons. And then there were unicorns.
The unicorns throw up rainbows.
Attack people with your rainbow vomit.
That's totally the rift from. We're gonna get flagged over that. We're gonna have like the company that owns Led Zeppelin trying to sue us next week because that was such a horrible attempt at not playing that riff from that song. Anyway, so that's the newest crypto game that's coming out. It's called Dinosaurs, Unicorns. Kill yourself. It's called Unicorns versus Dinosaurs. We'll be back with the third hour of the Call to Freedom right after this.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, Hey, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait
on the calendar. Now.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, September 4th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.19 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,195 per ounce. Zen is trading at $20, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,373. Antiwar.com reports in a new tweet on Monday, President Trump warned Syria against attacking the rebels in Idlib province. He also warned Iran and Russia against participating in any such attack if it happens. Trump insisted the Russians and Iranians would be making a grave humanitarian mistake to take part in this potential human tragedy, saying that hundreds of thousands of people could be killed. Though Syria has not confirmed any specifics, it is believed that they are preparing to attempt to expel the rebels from Idlib, including the al-Qaeda-dominated faction, which UN officials say has 10,000 designed terrorists fighting within. Others estimate that overall some 70,000 fighters are within the province, and the densely populated area could indeed lead to large civilian death tolls in the fighting. The U.S. opposition is particularly noteworthy, however, because recent offensives against other densely populated cities and provinces, like Deir ez-Zor and Mosul, saw not only U.S. endorsement, but direct U.S. participation. Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology with a decentralized secure node architecture. The Horizon platform enables real-life uses beyond currency, including the ability to privately chat with other people. Soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. Horizon, bringing privacy to life. Learn more at horizon.global. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports a woman is dead after jumping out of a moving ambulance on a Northern California freeway. The California Highway Patrol said the woman, whose name had not been released pending notification of next of kin, got out of her restraints and overpowered an EMT before exiting the ambulance. She was then struck by multiple oncoming cars and died from the injuries, according to CHP officer Josh Roberts. Paramedics were taking the woman to the John George Psychiatric Hospital in San Leandro, California, after she got into an altercation with police in Pleasanton. According to the Mercury News, police responded to a call of a woman driving recklessly and hitting several cars, as well as a pedestrian at around 2 a.m. Monday morning. During their attempt to apprehend the woman, 2 police officers used their taser to subdue her. After restraining the woman, she was taken to a hospital for a routine medical evaluation before paramedics attempted to take her to a psychiatric hospital. Roberts said investigators are looking into how the woman was able to get out of the ambulance. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? Will anybody care? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports Tropical Storm Gordon whipped the southern tip of Florida with high winds and rain on Monday and was expected to make landfall as a hurricane along the central U.S. Gulf Coast on Tuesday night, according to the National Hurricane Center. The storm is currently forecast to come ashore late on Tuesday near the border between Louisiana and Mississippi and drop as much as 8 inches of rain in some areas of the U.S. South, still reeling from hurricanes a year ago. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards declared a state of emergency, saying 200 Louisiana National Guardsmen were being deployed, along with 63 high water trucks, 39 boats, and 4 helicopters. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency warned of storm surges between 3 and 5 feet and told residents of South Mississippi to prepare to evacuate. The National Hurricane Center said Gordon was generating winds of 50 miles per hour on Monday as it steamed west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. By Monday afternoon, the storm had passed over Florida's southern tip. There were no reports of any injuries or deaths or damages to buildings, according to Alberto Moscoso, a spokesman for the Florida Division of Emergency Management. Last year, powerful hurricanes walloped Texas, Florida, and Puerto Rico, causing thousands of deaths, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of damage, massive power outages, and devastation to hundreds of thousands of structures. At the mouth of the Mississippi River, around the area of New Orleans, the storm could generate a surge of up to 4 feet, and smaller surges could hit coastland along other parts of the Gulf Coast. The U.S. Coast Guard also warned that the ports of New Orleans, as well as Gulfport and Pascagoula, Mississippi, may have to close within 48 hours when gale force winds from Gordon are expected to arrive. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Shortly after members of the New York Police Department found a super sharp Buck brand pocket knife earlier this morning, Lieutenant Joseph Mattioli spoke to Onion reporters at the scene of the discovery to update the public on this potentially deadly blade.
At 8:40 a.m., police discovered what seems to be a pretty badass buck knife. Investigators believe it to be basically the deadliest knife ever.
Mattioli confirmed that the pretty cool wood-handled knife has a clean edge and added that the blade must be, quote, at least like 8 inches long.
At this time, we'd like everyone to be aware that there's probably a man out there with an eye patch and scars all over his face that has access to these knives, or maybe even a samurai sword. We urge people to be careful when approaching him because he may flip out and chop both your arms off before you even realize it.
Following the announcement, Mattioli asked people to come forward if they had any information about the owner of the knife or if they just wanted to hold it for a couple of seconds. For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom, live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from our Horizon.global studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And it is another beautiful day here in the Shire. We got a story here for you. It turns out that Al Jazeera doesn't have big as balls as what everyone thinks that they do. Saudi came after them and they shelved a documentary that they were talking about Israel, much like Fox News did immediately after 9/11 when it came out that, American intelligence was being filtered through an Israeli company that is just in Utah, I think is where it was. Just a big building where all this information from American citizens was being funneled through. Basically, that America's dark net, so to speak, their cyber dragnet that existed before 9/11, and they just wanted to acknowledge that we have one after 9/11. That everything from that dragnet was filtered through a building that was owned by an Israeli company, and that has ties to Israeli security, like their version, the Mossad, their version of the CIA. Turns out that there was more of that stuff kind of talked about in a never shown Al Jazeera documentary, because when Saudi came up and was like, well, we've decided Qatar is terrorists and the Al Jazeera is their arm of their terrorist organization, they cut the work on it because, that's the smart thing to do.
Get leaked?
Yeah, some of it got leaked.
Yay.
This coming from The Nation, how Israel spies on U.S. citizens. A never-shown Al Jazeera documentary on the pro-Israel lobby in the United States reveals possibly illegal Israeli spying on American citizens and the lobby's fear of a changing political mood.
Whoa. I reject the assertion. Everyone knows Israel can do nothing illegal.
Right? They're like Nixon.
Yeah.
If they do it, it's not illegal. If they steal American passports, this actually has happened in the last 10 years. If they steal American, Australian, and British passports, give them to their agents and use those passports to assassinate world leaders of one country in the airport of other countries, that's totally we're not going to file charges against whoever that Mossad agent was that stole that American passport. We're just not going to do that.
Well, because he didn't steal it, he borrowed it.
I know a number of foreign imams who won't come to the U.S., and one of the reasons is because within 12 months of 9/11 happening, their homes or hotel rooms while traveling were broken into, and nothing disappeared but their passports. So... I have jewelry. My wife has these things. They were sitting out, and all they took was they busted my whole house up. They didn't take the money. They didn't go for the safe. They just took my passport. It's the only thing that was missing from the house. And now they're like, so I don't go to America. Matter of fact, I try not to travel abroad at all. That's pretty messed up, to go to your hotel room and my hotel room has been ransacked, but there's nothing missing but my travel documents. Odd. Well, an investigative documentary by Qatari broadcaster Al Jazeera was scheduled for broadcast earlier this year, was expected to cause a sensation. It's 4 50-minute episodes centered on the young and personable James Anthony Kleinfeld, British, Jewish, and Oxford graduate who speaks 6 languages, including Dutch and Yiddish, and is well informed on Middle Eastern conflicts, seemingly a natural fit for a Western foreign ministry or a major think tank. The documentary showed Kleinfeld being enthusiastically recruited for his skills by the Israel Project, TIP, which defends Israel's image in the media, and associating with senior members of organizations that support Israel unconditionally, specifically and especially the American Israeli Public Affairs Committee, also known as AIPAC, the powerful U.S. lobbying group. For 5 months, he mixed with them at cocktail parties, congresses, and conventions, and on training courses. He won their trust, and they opened up to him, abandoning doublespeak and official lines. He asked, did they go about influencing the U.S. Congress? Congressmen don't do anything unless you pressure them, and the only way to do that is with money. How did they counter Palestinian rights activists on university campuses? With the anti-Israel people, what's most effective, what we've found at least in the last year, is you do the opposition research. Put some anonymous website up, and then put up targeted Facebook ads. Kleinfeld's contacts told him that they were spying on U.S. citizens with the help of the Israeli Ministry of Strategic Affairs, founded in 2006, which reports directly to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. One official said, we're a different government working on foreign soil, so we have to be very, very cautious. And indeed, some of the things they do could be subject to prosecution under U.S. law. Right. You heard about the guy from AIPAC who got busted and was like, if I go down, I will tell everything I know. He's not in prison. Like they busted him giving away official U.S. secrets. He was caught in the act giving away U.S. secrets. He says, if I go down, I will tell everything on everybody I know.
If we want to prosecute these people, all we have to do is trace their lineage to Russia.
Right?
That's it. That's it. And I mean, considering that many Russian Jews did in fact go to Israel following World War II, it should be doable easy with a significant number of them. So there you go.
Kleinfeld's contacts told him they were spying on U.S. citizens. Oh, that's right. We already talked about that. At the end, Kleinfeld's time at TIP, his boss there, Eric Gallagher, was so happy with his performance that he wanted to hire Tony on a permanent basis. I would love it if you came to work for me. I need someone who's a team player, hardworking, excited, passionate, curious, well-rounded, well-spoken, well-read. You're all of those things. Kleinfeld turned down the job.
There's a lot of ass kissing for someone who wasn't a boss.
His qualifications were genuine, but he was, of course, an undercover reporter sent by Al Jazeera to investigate the pro-Israel lobby. He filmed conversations using a hidden camera, and later, as a part of an Al Jazeera investigations team led by executive producer Phil Reese, put together a spectacular documentary. There was all the more excitement over its impending broadcast, because a 2017 Al Jazeera report on the pro-Israel lobby in the UK had revealed Israel's interference in Britain's internal affairs and its attempt to bring down a deputy foreign secretary, Alan Duncan, who it considered too pro-Palestinian. This had led to the Israeli ambassador in London making a public apology and a high-ranking diplomat being recalled to Tel Aviv. The documentary was expected to be a media sensation, bringing outraged denials and intense controversy.
Yeah,
but then
I want to see this.
Broadcast was postponed with no official explanation. Eventually, articles in the U.S. Jewish media revealed that it would never be shown. Clayton Swisher, Al Jazeera's director of investigative journalism, expressed regret at the decision in a published article and announced that he was taking sabbatical leave. The documentary had been sacrificed in a fierce battle between Qatar on one side, with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates on the other for U.S. support in the feud. Told ya! Called it! Who sold you out? That's right. Who sold you out? The Saudis. The Saudis sold you out. Enjoy your Hajj or Umrah. Don't forget to book yours today. Man, that was...
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
وتاسعهم سيأتي بعد صيف فهل تغضب سجل أنا عربي.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Horizon.global studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, we are talking about what's going on with this documentary.
Yeah, it's doing the world a disservice that it's not going to be aired. I mean, it sounds like it would be groundbreaking in every sense of the word.
Well, see, what happened is Saudi Arabia and the UAE
sometimes you're going to take the bullet.
Influence.
Doesn't matter.
They want U.S. support. So, what better way to do that to win favor with the favor of the pro-Israel lobby if you want to get in bed with the U.S. and influence Middle East policy? Saudi and UAE want Iran to be bombed because that's their major competition, both theologically and business-wise, for the oil in the region.
Yeah.
Says, to tip the balance in its favor, Qatar postponed the broadcast, winning a halt to the campaign against Doha by a section of the right wing of an already right-wing lobby. Morton Klein, president of Zionist Organization of America, the ZOA, and a close friend of Donald Trump's former advisor, Steve Bannon, flew to Doha and said that he was delighted to see the documentary buried. That groups such as ZOA, which have which had not long ago been accusing Qatar of funding Hamas and terrorism,
Shocking. The Zionists of America
should change sides in return for the documentary's suppression, should say a lot about those explosive revelations. Basically, the ZOA said Qatar's funding Hamas and terrorists, and then the ZOA said we're not going to put out. Then Al Jazeera said, okay, we won't put out the documentary about how you guys control the U.S. government. And then ZOA said, these guys in Qatar, they're great. They're awesome. We love them. Terrorism? Nah, they would never do that. Really? Because like 5 minutes ago when they were going to show this documentary, you were like, they fund Hamas.
Yeah, just get video of them saying that they would never, that they love you and that you don't support terrorism. Then release the documentary and like, see, they already said we don't.
Well, burying over a year's work caused turmoil at Al Jazeera.
I bet.
Yeah, some were keen for the revelations not to sink into the quicksand of geopolitical compromise, which is why, thanks to a friend in the Gulf, the author here was able to watch all 4 episodes in their near final version. What was striking to see was the feverish mood of the pro-Israel lobby over the last few years due to a blind fear of losing its influence. How can that be when support for Israel is massive in the United States and both Republicans and Democrats unfailingly back it no matter what its ventures? And when, since Trump's election, Washington no longer wishes to act as unfair broker in the Israeli-Arab conflict and has sided with Israel's most right-wing government ever, despite this apparently favorable climate, a specter haunts the lobby: the BDS movement. Boycott, divestment, and sanctions. BDS launched in 2005 and aims to use nonviolent methods that proved effective in South Africa under apartheid. It's growing in popularity on U.S. campuses.
And it just might be effective at apartheid in Israel.
Well, yeah, but the problem is you've got states like New York that are literally writing laws that criminalize BDS. If you don't carry Israeli products, you'll be charged with a hate crime. Welcome to the new America. And these are Democrats that are lobbying for these laws.
Wow.
With Palestinian refugees,
all you have to do is
children
say,
of Palestinian refugees, the children of Palestinian refugees campaigning for them, raising money for them, calling themselves pro-Palestine while they do it.
Seems about right.
No self-awareness whatsoever. Director of Strategic Affairs, Christians United for Israel, and Executive Director of the Maccabee Task Force, a group fighting against BDS, question whether it's really cause for alarm. Israel's booming. It's the startup nation. More venture capital.
Yes, well, it's easy. It's very easy to be economically successful when you displace a population and effectively enslave them and prevent them from working and prevent them from building buildings and take their land and then start slaughtering them. I mean, we did it here, and it worked out well.
That's true.
With $4 billion a year in American aid money, and that's just America. France, UK, and Australia also send Israel money.
This is what's just always blown my mind. Why are they still getting money?
It's welfare
all these years later.
It's welfare.
They're a
for
successful country. They've got their own funds.
We got to sell weapons somehow.
And so we give them the money that they use to buy the weapons from us.
And then they use the money to buy the weapons from. It's in the contracts usually that they have to buy the weapons from American weapons manufacturers with the money. It's welfare for Lockheed Martin. Because that's a conflict that is long.
Well, this is what it's meant by military-industrial complex. You know, is that kind of crap. Yeah. And it's documented. It happens.
Basically, if America's at peace, Israel provides a welfare stipend, a reason for us to continue to fund war.
Mm.
You know, we got to protect Israel. The Bible says so. And that's I mean,
you heard Christians for Israel or whatever dumb crap they had to say.
Yeah, it's a huge thing.
These lunatics exist in large numbers. And not only that, they're so insane that they're okay with what we just said about the military-industrial complex and how it's effectively... Nobody pick it up while I'm sneezing or anything. We wouldn't want that.
There's another worry for the lobby. Support for Israel's traditionally transcended Republican-Democrat divides. And a few months before the end of his presidency, Barack Obama unconditionally approved a $38 billion aid package for Israel, though his relations with Netanyahu were terrible. But the political I hate you guys. Here, have $38 billion because I don't like you.
Some of our listeners will appreciate this. It's very much how The Undertaker and Kane used to hate each other.
Yeah.
Or how Vince McMahon and Triple H used to
hate each other. Yeah. How John McCain and the
people he voted with on not repealing Obamacare
hate each other. Yeah. Oh, you mean the people who went to his funeral?
Yeah.
And the people who did. Oh, okay, never mind. There's another worry for the lobby. Support for Israel. Anyway, political landscape's changing. The lobby's unconditional support for Trump is narrowing its base to the Republican Party. Being pro-Israel, that's bull. That's complete bull. Because you just had the electronic intifada have to call out a Muslim Palestinian daughter of Palestinian refugees for saying that she would support current Israeli aid packages, that she wouldn't vote to get rid of them. So please don't try to sell me the line that the Democrats are somehow not in the bed with the same Israel they used to be.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Zencash Horizon.global. I wish they'd quit changing their damn name. Here on the... Oh, good Lord. Anyway, so whatever. We're here. It's New Hampshire. We're live. Call the show, 603-283-6160. We've been talking about this documentary on Israel, how it was suppressed because Qatar was tired of being called a supporter of terrorists. And it's funny, as soon as they were like, we're not going to show the public that you are unduly influencing the American government, way more than Russia ever dreamed of even trying to do. Like, there's what people dream Russia does, right? Multiply that times 100, and that's what Israel actually does.
I mean, they're not ashamed of it either.
No, not at all. And you know what?
Like, oh yeah, we influenced your elections.
I want to challenge.
We hired people to spread propaganda on social media. Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
I totally need to challenge this idea that there is a right-left divide now on Israel, because this is this year. This is the right.
The only divide is in how far up each of their butts they can get Israel.
For real, yo. They just argue over who can get Israel's willy the farthest down their throat. But hold on a second. Hold on. This is the right on the BDS movement in Israel.
Most important issues that any government can deal with is how it's going to respond to Israel. Will we as a country bless Israel, or will we as a country hurt, harm, or curse Israel? It's a very big issue. And those who don't like Israel very much are trying to put Israel out of existence. When you hear from terrorists, they'll say that they want to annihilate Israel. In other words, death to Israel. They want to see the people and the country gone. One way that they go about doing that is through economic means, to choke off Israel economically. And they do that by urging other people to boycott any product that's made in Israel. That's the boycott part. Divestment means if you have a company in Israel that's maybe listed on a stock exchange, there's pressure for a university or a company or individuals to divest themselves. In other words, no longer hold the stock of an Israeli company. So if you get rid of that stock, that means that you're taking the money out of that company. You're going to hurt it. Sanctions means a government would put handcuffs on Israel or an Israeli company so that that company maybe couldn't trade or couldn't get advantages that they could have gotten in any other way. Those are three serious methods: boycott, divestment, and sanctions to strangle economically Israel. And the haters of Israel want to do exactly that. That's why it's very important that people who are running for office state if they believe in boycott, divestment, sanction of Israel, which is economic strangulation, or if they believe in blessing Israel by making sure we can maintain positive economic relations.
All right, so that's the right, That's the right.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Before we move on, she characterized the whole death to Israel. We want to annihilate Israel, and she said that, and then she immediately conflated it with the Israeli people.
Yes.
When the Palestinians and these oppressed people say, death to Israel, they're talking about the state, not the people.
Oh, they want the boot off of their neck.
And I know that other statists don't comprehend that difference. But when they chant death to America, they don't want to come over here and kill every single American. They don't have nothing against us.
They just want to shoot
our
the president
government and what our government is doing.
Yeah. Well, now, to make sure that everyone knows that there is no way, shape, form, fashion at all that this is possibly not a bipartisan issue, here is Hillary Clinton discussing BDS at AIPAC when she was there kissing their butt, begging for their money during her presidential campaign.
Many of the young people here today are on the front lines of the battle to oppose the alarming boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement known as BDS.
Every time they say BDS, I think of something dirty.
At a time when anti-Semitism is on the rise across the world, especially in Europe, we must repudiate all efforts to malign, isolate, and undermine Israel and the Jewish people.
Because one is the other.
Ooh, she did that so well.
I've been sounding the alarm for a while now. As I wrote last year in a letter to the heads of major American Jewish organizations, we have to be united in fighting back against BDS. Many of its proponents have demonized Israeli scientists and intellectuals, even students. To all the college students who may have encountered this on campus, I hope you stay strong. Keep speaking out. Don't let anyone silence you, bully you, or try to shut down debate, especially in places of learning like colleges and universities.
Right? Chris, did you hear that? He totally wasn't paying attention. Hold on. Let's rewind that. I got to hear that again.
Yeah.
Speaking out. Don't let anyone silence you, bully you, or try to shut down debate, especially in places of learning like colleges and universities.
Where in the hell did that come from, and where has it been the last year and a half?
That's just it, though, that's what AIPAC does, though, is they go out of their way to make sure people like Norman Finkelstein don't get to speak at universities. Like, that's what Camera and TIP and all that, that's what they do. That's what they're about. And they're talking about we hate the free market. We don't want people to have the free market option of deciding whether or not they give money to Israel. We want New York to pass a law that says if you don't carry Israeli products in your business, then we're going to prosecute you for hate crime. What do you mean, don't stifle debate? Nothing stifles debate like criminalization of protest, of saying, look, if you don't spend there is no greater protest than protest of dollars. Ask Nike. There is no greater protest than the protest of dollars. Ask In-N-Out Burger.
Ask the NFL.
For real. There is no greater protest than the protest of dollars. And what she and her left wing, because it's Democrats that put these bills up, these anti-BDS bills, say, we don't want that. We don't want you to be able to walk away with your dollars. You should be forced to do business with companies that are owned on stolen land. On land that has been taken from people sometimes within your lifetimes. By force, through violent force. And it's a bipartisan issue, I'm sorry. You just heard the Queen Democrat herself say,
well,
BDS is anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I noticed that too. The most concerning thing that she said was how she
protest and boycott is a hate crime now.
Well, I mean, it's not even that. It's that, she wrote letters to the heads of Israeli organizations. That should concern everybody. That's like writing freaking Vladimir Putin.
No, it's not, because it's Israel. It's different. You're allowed to go over there and curry favor with their government because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go over there and kiss the ring of whoever sits in the chair of the prime minister's slot of Israel.
But that should be so the other way around. If anybody's kissing anyone's butt,
if you don't, then God will...
We should be the ones unzipping.
God will destroy America if you don't kiss Israel's butt, though.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
The victims of a devastating tornado expressed gratitude that The Onion's three-part series on the disaster was reported with fairness, accuracy, and an unusual degree of sensitivity. Survivors said they were at least thankful for one thing, that The Onion put much more care and insight into their reporting of the tragedy than any competing newspaper, by far. In economic news, a Pulitzer Prize would very much help certain newspapers increase their circulation, resulting in greater ad sales and more revenue to pay their tireless, hardworking reporters, all of whom have families at home to care for. In other headlines, a group known as Americans for Fairness in Awarding Journalism Prizes is asking all Americans to help The Onion receive a Pulitzer Prize. An anonymous man says he will murder 50 innocent people if The Onion is not awarded a Pulitzer. And look at it, it's beautiful. Look, just give us a Pulitzer already, okay? This is humiliating. For more prize-worthy stories and videos, go to theonion.com/review.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे.
Let's focus our discussion first on marijuana, okay? Marijuana has a very distinct smell, okay? I'm going to pass around just a little tiny bit, and I want you all to take a smell so you know when someone is smoking marijuana near you.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It's our last segment of the day, which means it's time for our cannabis news. We got two stories that I wanted to cover here. One of them is pretty cool. We're just gonna throw it out there. California lawmakers have okayed free cannabis. That's right. It's okay to give cannabis away for free now, legally, and Friday marks the end of a session in yet another historic year for California cannabis lawmaking. Officials giving the thumbs up to a new bill supporting compassion programs that give away cannabis to the sick and dying. That's right. Before, if you gave away cannabis to sick and dying people, you could go to jail, even in California. Yay for liberal California.
So what happens if you had given away money to them and then they use that money to pay you?
You're an accomplice.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know about that. But if you just grow weed and you give it for free, then they would have thrown you in jail. Yay for liberalism. Yay for tax and regulate. Throwing people in jail for giving free medicine to sick people. Legalization Proposition 64's tax rules have been punishing the terminally ill who rely on free cannabis that's now too pricey to give away. Josh Drayton, California Cannabis Industry Association Communications Director, lauded the passage of a bill to exempt compassionate care programs from paying state cannabis taxes on medical cannabis provided for free to low-income patients with serious health conditions. So sick, man. You just want to punch the government in the throat. If it had one.
I'm not a big fan of violence, but man, if you're using violence against other people, let's
throw people who give good medicine to sick people who can't afford it. Let's throw those people in jail. Let's prove that age-old axiom that no good deed goes unpunished.
Anything you do to the state or to state employees that is not rape is totally justified in self-defense. 100% justified. Yeah. Now, the state won't agree, and you will spend the rest of your life in prison. But
I don't advocate for shooting police or other government officials.
I'm a what do you call it? An equitable response kind of guy. If your job is to sit and make money as a paper pusher, then I don't know. I'm not going to be too upset if somebody kicks over your trash cans or breaks in your house.
Well, they certainly shouldn't be first in line to the guillotine.
The reason the reason I don't support it is not because.
But if you're the cop who got off after you kicked that homeless mentally retarded guy to death, what was his name? Years ago, before anybody cared about cops killing police, before BLM and the television told us that we're supposed to be mad about this.
I'm using him in the cover of my book. How do I not remember his name?
Yeah. Anyway, those cops, front of the line, bro.
No. The politicians have to be front of the line. We need to storm the Capitol building and the White House and drag the politicians out and hang them publicly and then behead them and put their heads on spikes right outside the buildings as a warning. I'm serious. As a warning.
On Call to Freedom is necessarily the opinion of hosts or the show itself.
But the problem is it's
or
not
LRN.FM.
If only
any of its affiliates.
If only it was an effective tool, right?
Well, it would be. It would be because other states would look at that and go, "Oh man, we do not want to mess with them," because they elected these guys. They were like, "Hey, these guys are cool," and then they beheaded them and put their heads on pikes and permanently attached them in front of the buildings Or we could just elect George Washington, the dead one. Both send the same statements.
I think without the numbers on your side with support, you're not going to achieve results because
it's not practical.
The only thing you're going to end up with is the Secret Service at your front door.
Right. It's just not practical. Now, if there's enough people here supporting, in any given region, go for it.
All right, now on to the rest of the cannabis.
Well, before
news
it can
segment.
become practical, we do have to gather up the courage to say, you know what, we need to go hang these dudes, every single one of them, and then behead them. But as long as I'm the only, that's critical to the whole thing. But as long as I'm the only one saying that, we're never going to get the numbers.
To the next story.
I don't think. Yeah, I mean,
Aria needs to take up some of the 7th grade pot use. The middle school kids aren't smoking as much of it anymore. You should take up the excess.
Yeah, right.
That's the next story, and I wanted to make sure to cover is that cannabis use reported by high schoolers in California has dropped significantly amid the legalization and regulation of the botanical drug for adults ages 21 and older. Data from large independent California Healthy Kids survey released this week indicated that 7th grade pot use dropped 47% from 2013 to 2017. Californians legalized cannabis in 2016. Among 9th graders, the use of cannabis dropped 25%. 11th graders, 16%.
This is disappointing. We need to get those numbers up.
The percentage of teens reporting using cannabis multiple times reportedly within the past 30 days declined for all age groups. It's almost as if it's not illegal, it's not fun.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? The declines in substance use are striking, says the California Healthy Kids survey report. Almost all major indicators of alcohol and marijuana use overall prevalence, as well as frequent or heavy use, are down by 3 or more points. Funding for the survey of teens is nonpartisan, and it comes from taxes spent by the California Department of Health Care. Then it's partisan. California is a Democrat state. It's partisan. It comes from taxes spent. Yeah, it's partisan. In collaboration with the Department of Education.
They may have had one of the 4 Republicans that still live in the state of California.
You got California Department of Health Care Services. That's going to be a Democrat heavy. And then the Department of Education is also going to be uber Democrat heavy, so totally partisan. The survey of 45,264 students came from the 2015-2017 administration of the CHKS to a California high something, I don't know, to a randomly selected representative sample of California 7th, 9th, and 11th graders. It's the 16th biennial statewide student survey, which began in 1985 and became mandated by the California legislature in 1991.
So what happens when you refuse?
I don't know. Declining trend amid rise of legalization is what it shows. California has had legal medical cannabis since 96 and dispensaries for adults 18 and older since the 2000s. Yet marijuana use has been declining among students. Legalization critics note that the study period doesn't cover more recent developments. Retail adult use cannabis began after the study period ended. There are drug, driving, and long-term health dangers anti-cannabis groups like Project Sam warn. How the recent legalization of marijuana use for adults in California affects the declining trend among youth warrants attention. The survey report concluded the next biennial survey will be of particular interest to shed light on whether the change in state marijuana laws affects these findings again. Current results suggest that 2 factors may help explain the declines: increase in parental, peer, and lesser extent personal disapproval, and declines in the percentage of students reporting that it was very easy to get their hands on marijuana or alcohol. Legalization supporters said the survey results mirror data from other legalization states, which all share an age limit of 21 and a strong anti-youth smoking campaign.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
legalization earmarks millions of dollars each year in excise taxes for anti-marijuana ads aimed at youth. So basically, it's a business that's forced to fund efforts to put itself out of business via taxes.
Yeah, but isn't the issue with drugs and teenagers in California MDMA and LSD?
It is.
Not pot?
It is. But who cares?
No, I'm serious.
It is. She's totally right.
I mean, that's where we get all of our MDMA and LSD.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow with more discussions. We've got some. We're gonna be in Ray Comfort's new movie. That's awesome. It's hilarious.
It is. I cannot wait.
Oh, God. Anyway, so yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We've got lots of discussions to have, more news, more crypto news, more cannabis news. So we'll see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock, same as today. But don't go anywhere right now, guys, because Free Talk Live is coming up next.
The warning signs.
First, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me. About my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live, brought to you by freekeen.com. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, September 4th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.19 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,195 per ounce. Zen is trading at $20, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,373. Antiwar.com reports in a new tweet on Monday, President Trump warned Syria against attacking the rebels in Idlib province. He also warned Iran and Russia against participating in any such attack if it happens. Trump insisted the Russians and Iranians would be making a grave humanitarian mistake to take part in this potential human tragedy, saying that hundreds of thousands of people could be killed. Though Syria has not confirmed any specifics, it is believed that they are preparing to attempt to expel the rebels from Idlib, including the al-Qaeda-dominated faction, which UN officials say has 10,000 designed terrorists fighting within. Others estimate that overall some 70,000 fighters are within the province, and the densely populated area could indeed lead to large civilian death tolls in the fighting. The U.S. opposition is particularly noteworthy, however, because recent offensives against other densely populated cities and provinces, like Deir ez-Zor and Mosul, saw not only U.S. endorsement, but direct U.S. participation. Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon